Hello, my name is RevKev, and you are tuning into RevKevHumanMe. We talk about the game of life, and it's great to have you. We've been drilling into the devil assailing Jesus with the three temptations in Matthew chapter 4. We're discovering how to prevent the erosion of the heart. In practical terms, what to do when we are being tempted. So these are very important segments. In Matthew chapter 4, verses 5 to 7, the devil said, "Jesus, you are a bore. People aren't even sure you are the Messiah. You need to be more sensational. You need to, increase your shock factor." And the devil was testing Jesus with more fame. And he said, "Let's stage this. You throw yourself down from top of the temple. The scriptures say the angels will bust in, swoop down, save you from the smack of the pavement at the last second. It will be theatrical." Again, the devil was smart. He was even quoting from the Holy Book about the angels intervening on behalf of Jesus. Jesus' response is curt. Don't test God. And we will come back to this in but a moment. I want to jump ahead to Matthew 16, where a disciple of Jesus named Peter was called out for testing Jesus. We catch up to Jesus and Peter, and Jesus said to Peter directly, "Get behind me, Satan." Now, this is a really big deal to be called out by the Lord as Satan. I mean, it's the only time that Jesus calls a person Satan. It would sting a new one. We read that in Matthew 16, verse 23. And the verse continues in Matthew 16, 23. "You, Peter, are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Okay, just 10 seconds earlier, Jesus said in verse 17, "Blessed are you, Simon Peter, son of Jonah. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I shall build my church." And just a few verses later, Jesus tells the disciples, like Peter, about his pending death and resurrection in verse 23. And Peter says, "No, no, you won't die." And Jesus replies to Peter the famous line, "Get behind me, Satan." What in heaven's name could this passage have to do with Matthew chapter 4, verses 5 and 7, and Jesus clapping back at the devil? It is written, "Do not put the Lord to the test." Point taken. Jesus, who is God, doesn't much like being told no. Remember, as a child, don't test your parent. Jesus said, "Peter, you are thinking about human concerns and not with the mind of God." Matthew 16, verse 23. I challenge God. I challenge him all the time. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, it reads, "No one can serve two masters." So friends, we're serving ourselves all the time. We're testing God all the time. I toss Jesus in the backseat of the car or the trunk all the time, and sometimes I leave him in the boot. While God forgives us, we don't want to serve two masters. We're learning in this life to listen to God's voice, which is spirit. When we ignore the voice of God, which is more clear than we like to admit, we further distance ourselves from that voice. The more we distract ourselves, remove ourselves from that voice, we are testing God. We do test God all the time knowingly when we put things in the way to distract us. We negotiate. We compromise. We are dishonest. We take our salvation and God's grace for granted. But there is one who perfectly reflected the Father, and we know him as the Son of God, Jesus. In the book of Revelations, Jesus is referred to as the morning star in Revelation chapter 2, verse 28, because Jesus radiates God. He reflects his Father. A morning star is the dawn star, and vice versa. They are bright stars because of the sun's ray. Of course, regular stars make energy, so they do create some light, but they do not create the light at the rate of the sun. In Revelation chapter 2, verse 28, we read about this prominent star that stands out its glow at dawn. This is a Jesus reference, the morning star. Again, in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19, here's another reference about Christ, the morning star. Jesus rises in our hearts like the star at dawn that heralds the new day. As some of you are likely well aware, the devil has also been dubbed the morning star in Scripture, notably in Isaiah chapter 14. Sharing the title of morning star can bring its confusion to people. Just how do we reconcile Jesus and devil both being morning stars? How is that possible? So just to clarify, yes, you heard it correct. Both Jesus and the devil share the term morning star in the Bible. The reference to the devil is found in Isaiah 14, verse 12. How you are fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn. How you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of assembly on the heights of Zaphon. I will ascend to the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Scripture references often have a double meaning, like in this case in Isaiah 14, where it is written to warn the king of Babylon, a king who is about to be disciplined by God. While at the same time, the passage references the devil. Call it a shot across the bow, where we see God sending messages to the earthly king of Babylon and God sending a very clear, candid dig at the devil. The star reference in Isaiah 14, verse 12 shouldn't be missed. We can't be too casual about it. O day star, son of the dawn. The star in Isaiah 14 has come to be known as Lucifer or Venus. The ancients called this planet Lucifer or Venus. They are one and the same. Lucifer is Latin for light bringer. Lucifer was the Roman name for the planet Venus when it appeared, reflecting the sun's brilliance, heralding the new dawn. The overarching ancient, medieval, and modern viewpoint is that the star Venus or Lucifer is the actual morning star that Scripture is telling us about. This is how Satan, the devil, got his further brand, his further name as Lucifer. Lucifer, the devil, tested God. Instead of reflecting God's glory, he was kicked out of heaven. Jesus properly reflects God's glory. One steals glory, one reflects glory. You be the judge. Let's redirect back to this idea of how we test God. When we give in to our thoughts, when we compromise what God says is true, and we do our own thing, we are acting Luciferian. We are going to need to counteract that. Because Jesus said, matter of fact, do not test God. The lesson here is, do not try to take what is God's for yourself, but rather reflect him in all things. Because while he may not call us Satan directly, like he did Peter, we can in fact try to seize God's glory, and that is God's alone. And by using human reason, we test God over and over, of course. Of course, we would like to be more sensational. It's all part of the sinful condition. So I hope we all understand that we can be good or a bad morning star. We can live in doubt and strive for more sensation. Like, look what happened to Peter. In 1 minute, Jesus said, you are Peter, and I will build my church. In the next few breaths, Jesus called Peter Satan. We don't want to serve two masters. We want to reflect the glory and the values of God, not our own. God gave us the agency to serve him boldly, so we must confess our doubts to him. Let's rehash what we know to this point. In Matthew chapter 4, the devil said to Jesus, your brand needs work. It is a fail. Throw yourself down, and the angels will save you, and you will rue the day, and your spectacular feat will go down in history. And Jesus said, do not put the Lord to the test. Friends, it's not about how spectacular or sensational we are. We are already able to reflect God's glory. We are a reflection of God. And when we doubt God's voice, we begin a dishonest negotiation with ourselves, and we begin to serve two masters. We believe the bald-faced lie that we are not good enough. It leads to more doubt, and it leads to testing God. Like you, I want to honor Christ with my life. I don't want to give my agency away. That is, what I can control, away. Having to be spectacular all the time, It just sounds like an ego trip to me. Evagrius of Pontus will have more to say on the topic of pride when we look into the 8 deadly thoughts in coming weeks. In our next video, I will feature Gideon and Jonah, 2 individuals who tested God and lived to tell about it. If you enjoyed today's content, please like, subscribe, and share the link. And be sure to tap the bell icon next to subscribe, which notifies you of new content on the game of life. RevKevHumanMe. Peace.
Now is the best time to start.
Not tomorrow. Not next week.
Not until next month.
Not next year.
You have to start
Right now.
So get out there and chase your dreams. Find adventure. Fall in love. Take risks.
Because trust me,
It'll be worth it, I promise.